Oh, hey, we're live.
Ah,
Sweet. Welcome to the workshop number 112. This is a comedy safe space, so if you guys want to say the N word, I'm not going to tell your parents. Um, Dan, you're up first. Let me know what your topic is and when you're ready to begin, and I will start your time.
All right, my sorry, I thought somebody was knocking on my door. My topic's suffering. Yep. I think I'm just gonna roll at 45 seconds here. All right, suffering is my topic, which seems to be kind of fitting for 2020. It just seems like no matter where you look or go, there's somebody suffering. But I feel like it's degrees. Like there's definitely degrees to suffering. Like my daughter's version of suffering is like slow Wi-Fi, where some places degree of suffering right now is getting shot 7 times in the back. All right, we're moving along here. Is it bad to take joy in others' suffering sometimes? Like I'm curious about that because I have to say especially if I don't like the person, I know it's like they say be the bigger person, but I think on the inside it feels so much better to be the smaller person sometimes. And like when you see like an ex that now weighs like 300 pounds, I always smile and just like think about the diabetes that's slowly taking over their body and like how they're slowly going to lose limbs. And that just makes me feel better about myself. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Like you remember like when you were in like maybe elementary school and they had like the balloon, the self-esteem balloon. And there was the guy whose self-esteem only got full when he took air out of the other balloon. I don't think it's wrong to be that guy that builds yourself up off of destroying other people's self-esteem. And I think a lot of people, they make great careers out of doing so. I love it when Christians lose their houses to fires or like bolts of lightning. It's just like didn't pray hard enough, did you, bud? And then like everybody's like thoughts and prayers, and you're like, oh, this does suck. I'm cold. All right. What else do I like to see others suffering? It's also perspective when it comes to suffering. Like I don't like being burned, but there's people that literally come to candle wax being dripped on their nipples, and I would have to say a lot of people think that's suffering, but to me, it's pretty arousing. Another thing I like to see is people that were really mean to me at one point, sleeping on the street. That's another joy in other people's suffering. I seem to have every now and then. Like it's also like goes back. It's like that kid that used to like which I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of an asshole in school, but like there's always that kid like older and bigger that was the asshole to me. That then I was the asshole on the kid smaller than me. So it was like a shit flows downhill thing. But knowing that like the head asshole like shot himself last year really made me feel very good that I've never been like low enough to where I've had to kill myself for like the stuff I've done in my life. I can just deal with it. So I think that's about all I'm going to go into on suffering right now. So thanks for listening.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. You guys have any feedback?
Are we doing this in order or just whoever has something? Or...
Whoever wants to talk.
Okay. Yeah, I think probably the first joke about getting shot 7 times in the back is probably a little bit too fresh to be funny, and I think an audience might be afraid to laugh at that, even if they secretly found it was funny. I don't know.
I thought it was hilarious. I was just not paying
attention
to the words.
Okay. Yeah, like you might laugh internally, but you might want to check around, like, are other
Oh, the
people
racist
trying to-
check around. See, it does exist, Bilal. I've told you this.
Learning.
Look forward, you fucking commie.
I never look at someone turning their head the same way.
Yeah. Now you know.
Yeah, expanding on that, on the getting shot on the back 7 times, for me, you have to state more than a fact I already know for it to be funny. So figure out how to be more creative with that. And I liked when you started talking about the candle wax and S&M bit. I feel like you could expand more on that because you're talking about pleasure and suffering, and that's a potential good premise.
Yeah, and you said it made you aroused. Yeah, you could maybe exaggerate that even more. It's like, oh, I see that, I instantly blow my load or something like that. Yeah, and then you were talking about people making great careers out of suffering. Yeah, you could, I think you gave, was it just one example of like preachers or something? You could give like a couple more and then expand the last one. I guess I thought you were gonna say like the president or something like that.
Why? What's wrong with the president right now?
Some people don't like it.
What? What?
I don't know.
What
They're
specifically?
There's nothing to dislike, you know. But yeah, I try to steer clear of political stuff, but that's your thing.
I always thought you were a very political comic.
Daniel, or do you guys know each other outside of this, or?
No,
Never
we've
seen
never
him before in
met.
my life.
Oh, okay, you're both in
I don't
Michigan.
really hang out with his kind, you know.
Yeah,
Unkept hair people.
we
are gross.
smell funny, you know.
Yep.
Can't do it. Any more feedback?
That's it for me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like the 7 times in the back thing. Although, yeah, it probably would be like kind of polarizing, like depending on the crowd. Like if you do it in like a room full of woke white people, they're not gonna laugh and they're gonna have a talk with you after you walk off stage. But if you do it in a room full of real humans, they'll probably laugh at it.
Mhm.
I think. Just saying. The making money off of suffering thing, I feel like the natural progression of that would be like dominatrixes or something, or like
Yeah, I didn't want to take the layup with that though, with like
Mm.
dominatrixes or president. You know, I didn't want to be a hack and go
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
easy stuff. Luke.
I said that's what I thought you were going to do. Not that it would be the right thing to say. I guess I'm glad you didn't. but-
or like what would be something really mundane that's like also like making money off of suffering.
Like the president of the Glee Club or something. People hate watching.
Or the IRS, I don't know.
Auditors.
Yeah, you could contrast like something as drastic as like candle wax and S&M to like something as mundane as like doing taxes.
I think Kenneth has a sex dungeon. I just want to throw that out there right now because his first thing was like, I like the candle wax part. And like we just talked about a bunch of stuff. He comes back, he's like, I really liked the candle wax part.
Yeah, well, like you know how like people had like those seals, like if you had an envelope that you wanted sealed, you'd like press your seal into the wax.
Yeah.
What if you did that with your nipples? Like what if that was your seal? You're like, no, it's just for the letters. It's not. I'm not enjoying this.
Like I need a lot more wax. Have giant areolas.
You just start mailing out like a separate letter for each word.
Why does all the mail have pepperonis on it? Like, all right, cool.
Yep, sweet. Luke, you're up next. Let me know when
Alrighty.
you're ready to begin, and I will start your time. And also let me know what the topic is.
My topic is betting. All right. 3, 2, 1. I know a thing or two about betting because I live in Reno, Nevada, or as it's known to my friends. So you live in like Las Vegas, right? No, it's a different city in Nevada. It's Reno. Oh, like Vegas, baby. Woo! Yeah, sure. I live in Vegas. Fuck it. Reno's beautiful and surrounded by mountains, but it's just like Colorado, except with more gambling, mob ties, and meth addicts. Um, I also lived in South Korea for a year, and they have casinos there, but it's illegal for Korean citizens to actually gamble. So only foreigners are allowed at their casinos. I tried to go to one, but they require you to present a foreign passport at the door. Like, look at my white face. This is my passport. Me no Korean. Kamsamnida. Um, this is kind of a deep cut. I'm going to talk about kind of an obscure book. It's called The Bible. Don't know if you've heard of it. So in the Bible, when the Roman soldiers are crucifying Jesus, he's hanging up there in his skivvies on the cross, and the soldiers are rolling dice and gambling to see who gets to keep Jesus's clothes. Like, how freaking rich is this homeless man's threads? Like, I didn't realize that Jesus was dressed in designer for red carpets. Like, oh my Lord, here comes Jesus, star of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So, Jesus, who are you wearing? Well, I've got an Egyptian cotton robe by Tommy Hilfiger, Jimmy Choo Jerusalem Cruisers, and this crown of thorns by Versace. What about the blood trickling down your face? Oh, this blood, that's all me. It tastes like Merlot. If you'd like to drink some of my blood later, come stop by my supper party. You mean dinner party? No, supper party. It's gonna be the supper party to end all supper parties. I'm gonna call it the last supper party, and the main course is yours truly. Um, if Jesus were alive today, he'd be an Instagram influencer, saving souls and wearing revealing bathing suits for sponsorship dollars. Um, Speaking of bets and betting, Bette Midler is the second hottest famous woman named Bet. Right after Bette Davis and right before absolutely no one. All right, that's my time.
Yay, sweet, cool.
My time or all I wrote.
You guys can join in if you want to not look like assholes. But
I
if
was
you
clapping
wanna-
low. I was low clapping.
Yeah, you got to clap visibly. Like I wasn't even really clapping, but I was doing the hand thing because I'm
Clap them
holding an
cheeks.
iPad in one hand. I can't clap with one hand. It's impossible. Any feedback, you guys?
I'll start. I like the Jesus auctioning Jesus's clothing and like blood off premise, especially comparing it to like designer clothing. And I like how you talked about Jesus being an Instagram influencer. You could add on more on the influencer
Yeah,
part.
probably.
What brands will Jesus sponsor? Like Jesus doing like TikTok challenges, or like how Jesus will sell himself out and his image out just to make money. And like the cult following of Jesus, like people will just buy whatever stuff he sponsors.
All right, thanks.
Because Jesus was resurrected shortly after his death, I think you could definitely go into like a lane where you're talking about Jesus constantly letting himself be killed so he could just like drive the prices up on his auction clothes. Like whenever he's like, man, I need like an extra few grand to go hit like the Roman slots, like I just like get crucified real quick, sell the clothes on, I don't know, Hebrew Bay.
He has a bunch of like art, and it'll be worth more once he's dead, probably.
Yeah. And he's back up before like kickoff on Sunday. You know what I mean?
But
I like that.
I'm picturing like him waking up and like Where the fuck are my clothes? Fucking what? Just like it's like people who like kill people and then like take their shoes. He just wakes up like naked. Because they didn't mention that part. And we're like, hey Jesus, you're alive. And
He's
also you're
basically
naked.
Kenny from South Park. He just gets murdered or crucified every day.
Well, maybe when he respawned, he spawned with clothes.
Yep.
It was like a god, or God's mom, his grandma knit him a sweater out of.
Jesus was the original God mode. I don't know. There's something there.
Fucking. Yeah, because like I mean, he would have been naked, and you think they drew dicks on his face? I think they did. If they were taking his clothes, like, you got to draw dicks on people's faces. If they're passed out, dead.
I wonder if there's any like evidence of ancient cultures doing that sort of thing.
What, robbing dead people?
Well, like drawing dicks on faces and shit like that. It can't just be modern times since like the Sharpie had
Well,
to
I
have
mean-
existed before that.
I just think back then you just put like literal dicks on faces, like there was
Oh,
no
okay, you just
drawing
chop off.
involved.
I put your own dick on your face because I chopped it off.
Or like those
got
people we
you.
just slaughtered. I took some of their dicks, and now they're good party favors to throw on your buddy's face when he passes out.
Nice.
Hmm.
I guess they would just stone people. That was their way
Yeah,
of
yeah,
pranking.
yeah. Or you could go do that right now, like still to this day in the Middle East. It's cool.
Oh shit.
Yeah. In the oh yeah. Also, I forgot to mention we're wearing Ninja Turtle colors. It was almost by accident, but in the comments, Morgan Pearson said, "I'd love to know what Jesus's hashtags are. Hashtag this is what I do." What if the Bible is just one long hashtag?
Isn't it though? I mean, it's broken up into verses that are broken up into like they're broken up into books that are broken up into verses. Like really, it's just switch out the numbers for a
Yeah.
hashtag, and it's just one giant hashtag
Jesus.
after another.
Jesus would have an ad for like Casper beds and hashtag Jesus slept.
Like the wines that Jesus sponsors. Like these shoes will make you walk in water. From the
Yeah.
Hashtag let there be light. DTE. I don't know.
Mike Payne says, Jesus selling Savior brand energy drinks like water and Hawaiian energy drinks are just some straight son of God come. Like, it'd be like the Belle Delphine thing, probably. The bath water. Except you open it up and it just turns into wine. That'd be,
Well, and like kids can have it because it's not technically alcohol. It's just when you
what if
open
he,
it
like,
up, then
he sent you like a jar of water, but also like taped to the side of the jar was a little chunk of his meat. So, and you dip the chunk of him into the water, and then it would turn into wine.
well,
They
that's
like
sort of what they did
actively-
during Prohibition, right? They had like these winemaking kits that they could legally sell.
Who wants wine during Prohibition?
Yeah, give me that whiskey. I mean, no, it's illegal.
Morgan Pearson said his second coming is bringing back MySpace. Mike Payne
I don't
said
even think he can do that. Sorry.
facial carvings. Yeah, that would. I mean, did they have sharp enough knives to carve dicks into someone's face?
I'm pretty sure they've always had sharp enough objects
Yeah.
to carve the dicks.
It'd
Be hard to
Glorious
sleep through that.
Bastards.
Well, like they made cave drawings. I'm sure like they use that same stuff to draw dicks on faces.
Well, no, you've seen Inglorious Bastards, right?
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh, well, they have a thing where when they would let the Nazi people go, they would carve a swastika in their forehead with a Bowie knife.
They
Spoiler
probably
alert,
like
sorry.
that though, right? I don't know.
Morgan Pearson said, before Sharpie, we drew dicks with charcoal from the fire. Mike Payne says, hieroglyphic teardrop tats, and that one was for Amenhotep.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, about that.
Oh, I don't know how to say old words. My mouth isn't developed for those sounds. Any more feedback, you guys?
I definitely feel like with the Jesus Instagram influencer though, like Kenneth kind of hit on it earlier, there definitely is so much room to run with that. Especially because then you could start like incorporating the hashtags and like different products and stuff like that Jesus would endorse or whatever he would say.
Yeah, that was something
what
I like had earlier, but then I added a bunch of stuff and
Yeah.
it's sort of out of place.
and him getting
So it might have to be like a separate bit or something like that.
Mhm.
he got crucified because he got canceled.
How did he get canceled? Well,
He told
I think-
some non-PC Roman jokes and
I mean, he was hanging out with prostitutes and tax collectors. Like, I'm sure he did
Those things
something to get canceled.
seem like they wouldn't go together.
I think they still go together.
Prostitutes and tax collectors.
All right, Kenneth, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin, and I'll start you. And also what your topic is, and I'll start your time.
Okay, you could start it now. So my topic is abnormal. I lived in Boston a year ago. One day, the city closed its schools early because it snowed 2 inches. I found this to be abnormal because I grew up in Chicago. I had to go to school when it was negative 40 degrees. So when school shut down in Boston, I thought Bostonians were weak. My coworkers and I didn't have to run our after-school program, so we went home early. And when I got home, all the snow already melted. The city shouldn't have closed school because Boston children need to suffer like I did. They need to know how it feels to wait at the bus stop for 40 minutes straight, have the bus come and break down and have to exit that bus and wait for a different bus. When I got home, I had to take a 3-hour nap because I became sick. And when I woke up, it was dinner time. And I didn't even tell my family about my day. Boston schools shouldn't have shut down because my suffering needs to mean something. I hope climate change fucks their city up. My little brother went to school the day someone threatened to shoot it up. And I know that we should take threats like this seriously. But I graduated at the same Chicago high school as my brother. My theory is that someone needed an extra day to complete a project because they wrote on the bathroom stall that they were going to shoot school at that date. I bet you that this person had a planner, that this person had 5 advanced placement classes with projects due all that week, and this person wanted to get straight A's to become valedictorian. My point is that school shootings have become so normalized that my little brother didn't care. I told him that he should have used the threat as an excuse to skip school like everyone else. But no, my little brother risked his life to watch documentaries that day. But in the end, it was all worth it. He was 1 out of 5 kids in a class of 1,000 to graduate with perfect attendance. Also, I bet the teachers wanted school to stay open that day because they didn't want to do another makeup day at the end of the year. Fuck the safety of the youth. I'm just here for my paycheck. Yeah, that's what I've written. Feedback now.
Yay, sweet. I don't know why, but I'm angry right now. Any feedback, guys?
I thought of something. It's a joke I can't make, obviously.
Why?
But you could lean into maybe something a little bit racist. So you could say like, oh, in 2 inches of snow, Boston drivers turn into Asian drivers or something like that. That's why they had to shut everything down.
I'm not
It's a
gonna
safe space here.
No, sorry.
Are Asian people known to be bad drivers?
Yeah, that's the stereotype. My
Really?
girlfriend is.
It's so like
Oh.
easy and hacky.
I thought it was just women in general. I didn't realize there was
Yeah, I think.
race division.
Yeah, well, like I've heard comics like Daniel Tosh make that joke and some other people. Yeah.
I thought it was mainly women from like the Middle East.
Oh,
I heard that
I do.
stereotype. I heard they were really.
Are they
really-
allowed
that's why
to
they didn't
drive
allow
in all
them-
the
they didn't-
countries, or?
That was why they didn't allow them to drive.
Yeah,
Oh, geez.
it's a public safety issue.
Yeah.
That, and you got to think, like, if they're driving and the windows open, so much like fabric flying around, they could easily, like, hinder their vision.
Well, yeah, if it blows up.
Yeah, there you
into
go.
that icelet, the burqa.
Got a 32 camel pile up on the fucking freeway, and all because she had to wear goddamn shamag.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Nope.
Did you say shamai? Is that the whole
No, shamag's just the scarf.
shamai? Okay. Yeah, because I know there's like different names for different types of head coverings.
There's the niqab, and never mind. Back to the set.
Anyway,
the delivery was killing me the whole time. Like I was ready to shove a knitting needle in my dick hole, trying to follow the cadence because like it was like it was like I don't know. It was hard for me to follow what was being said because like I don't know what like is it were you like reading it like verbatim?
I was reading it, but I was like looking at the camera too.
Okay,
And
yeah, that might have been it.
low too, and that's my general delivery. So could I improve on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't make it sound so scripted. And it's like you're not monotone enough to like make it like monotone funny, and you're not showing enough energy. Like you're stuck in like a weird shade of gray area with your deliveries, like and how you're like saying things.
yeah, there needs to be probably more strategic pauses or
Inflection.
inflection,
Yeah, whatever that word is.
or like make it more obvious that okay, boom, here's the punchline. But
Also, if
I
you're
don't-
gonna do like 2 minutes on schools being canceled over 2 inches and they weren't canceled when I was younger for 2 inches, you got to like throw a lot more stuff in there because that's been done so many times since like 1950.
You know, like
So
being
it's just-
canceled over 2 inches sounds like a setup for like a where it's going.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's right there if you want to grab it. Wait, I'm trying. I wish we could see names of the people commenting on the actual thing. But yeah, like this school shooting thing.
Yeah, that has legs there. There's definitely places to go with that.
Mike Payne said punchline signaling. Maybe
Cool.
like I don't know. Maybe that's where catchphrases come in. You ever tried like doing a catchphrase? Like
I pause more at the places that should be punchlines or what I intend to be punchlines.
Yeah, like the way you delivered it was like it felt like a giant run-on sentence.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
or after your punchline, you could do the catchphrase like "wiggity woo."
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know, just completely deadpan.
I would have been fucking
Wiggity
dying
woo.
if there was a wiggity woo.
And after like 4 times, people would like start to lose their shit at that. I'm sure. It's like, he's gonna say it again. Yeah, he said it again.
What year is it? Oh,
Bad school shooting. Yeah, I think school shooting jokes are always funny. But there's no possible way to mess that up.
You can't miss. What you're saying.
We already aim at really small targets, probably, unless you.
Yeah, that's true. Well, kids these days larger than they used to be.
Yeah. Any more feedback, you guys? Okay. Now it's, I guess, my turn. My topic is visions. Okay, so here we go. Fuck. Visions. Visions are weird because you never know if it's like God talking to you, like giving you a vision, or you're just insane. And that's kind of like that's pretty high risk. You know, like the stakes are pretty high between those two options. Like, if it's God talking to you and you're like, nope, just ignore it. It's fake. Then you're going to hell forever, or you can damn your entire species to fucking whatever is coming. But if you act on it like it's fact, and it turns out you're just fucking insane, that's not good either. But I feel like that is like the risk there is like way lower than the risk the other way. So I feel like every time someone has like some kind of weird vision pop in their head, they should just act on it like it's fact, and we'll sort it out later. Because like you can always like you start a cult or something, you know, we're gonna bounce back from that. But if you don't warn us about like the world flooding, like there's going to be none of us left. You know, you can't come back from that shit. Like, hey, the world is going to be destroyed. We have to go to the mountains and stick our dicks in the dirt for 9 seconds and then pop up and then do a backflip and then we'll be okay. And that's just, if you don't do that, the world is going to finish, you know, and nobody wants that. Let me see what else. Visions. 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 Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of more shit to do with. That's where my mind goes when I hear the word visions. Just to like your brain being hijacked by some kind of weird chemical burst or like the voice of God. Or what if it's Satan though? That's another thing you have to think about. You know, it could be the devil. Like that. Like it's either God, the devil, or you're insane. What if it's all three at the same time? Like their timing is off because there's no rule saying that God and the devil and insanity can't strike you at the same time. Imagine how that would feel. It would just your brain would probably overload. What if they were all saying the same thing though? You know, they're like, "Hey, we need you to kill your family and move to Mexico." And then you do it, and now the cops are after you, and you're like, wait, maybe it wasn't God or the devil, maybe I'm just insane. But then everyone else just gets struck by fucking flame shooting from the sky, and you're the last person, and you're like, okay, I was right then. But there's no one who knows you were right because they're all dead, and you forgot to tell everyone else to kill their families and move to Mexico. The reason he wants you to kill your family is because you need the to mix all your family's like blood together in like a bowl, not like a big bowl, like a decent sized bowl though. You need to decapitate them and like let the blood from their heads drip into this bowl, and then you paint that around your door frame, and that's what saves you. That's what spares you from the sky fire. Otherwise, you're fucked, and you've doomed all of humanity. That's my time. Thanks, guys. You have any feedback?
Yeah, I like the descriptiveness of what God or whoever wants you to do in both instances. That was good.
Could you add fruit, like assorted fruit, to like the punch bowl of family blood?
Like Jello?
No, kind of like a holiday punch.
Hmm.
You know, you got like your whiskey, your family's blood, some orange slices, a couple blueberries, maybe some
I don't know if
cherries.
there are probably no rules against it.
I mean, it might make God mad though. Like,
Oh, he probably doesn't like cherries.
yeah,
Yeah, blueberries.
Right.
he
Are
has a
fair.
problem with people eating apples too.
Oh yeah, he's a real fruit guy.
Yeah, that's why like our world is so miserable because like one person ate a piece of fruit. Like that's why everything's so fucked up.
Do you think like
Oh.
like God was the original carnivore diet guy? Like he's like,
Yeah,
listen,
he's
no,
like,
just
"What?
meat.
These
No, there's a-
fucking
there's a-
people, they're eating goddamn fruit.
There's a killer gay joke in there that you guys just missed, but I'm not gonna do it.
I don't want to
because
talk
do
about a
it.
serial killer, Gage.
Huh? No, I was
What?
saying like. I'm saying. But never mind. I'm not gonna go down that road while I'm being recorded.
Oh, it's a comedy safe space,
No,
Bilal.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's a safe space. No, the thing you guys are talking about was like God hating fruit, and then never mind.
Oh,
Anyway,
oh, because like fruit's another word for gay
Yeah.
people.
yeah, like I don't normally.
There's a
do-
place in Vegas called the Fruit Loop where like all the gay bars are like in one section of the city, and it's like one big like turnaround area, and there's like 9 gay bars within like 50 feet of each other. And they call it like you get in the taxi, like take me to the Fruit Loop. They all know exactly what you're talking about. Like even the gay people there I was with say that, like, oh, we're going to the Fruit Loop. And so, like,
No, it sounds like the most fun place ever, though.
it's pretty cool. No, it's pretty cool.
You guys have any more feedback?
Yeah, for me, it's like figure out, because for me it sounded rambly, and make it more concise to figure out what's funny. I like the imagery that you talked about, like the decapitated heads and all of that. So just condense it.
Okay. Any more feedback, guys?
Is it a nice place in Mexico he wants you to go?
No, it's one of the really shitty places. You know, you gotta
Oh.
dodge bullets. You don't want a bullet to go through the bowl of blood. Otherwise, you're fucked. It's gonna spill out on the ground, and you have to stay there and like make a ring around yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna die.
Now, can you put a lid on the bowl, or does it have to be like? Is that part of the challenge that it has to be like an
No, I was
open
thinking
air
you
bowl?
put like you put some plastic wrap over it, like some saran wrap.
Okay,
And that'll probably hold it. But if a bullet goes through it, like you're fucked.
right.
Plus, blood is really dirty. You don't want to get sick from someone's dirty blood.
Oh yeah, like if somebody in your family had AIDS and didn't tell you, and now you've got
it works
dirty
for, like,
family AIDS blood all over you.
Yeah, but you don't even need AIDS. Like blood is just
Hep C.
I'm sorry, blood just grosses me out. That's why you're not supposed to touch it.
Not supposed to touch blood.
Yeah, you're not supposed to touch it. It like has all sorts of nasty shit.
I kind of like it.
Feel like I'm always touching blood. It's like inside of me or something.
Oh yeah, finger banging a bunch of fucking period chicks, aren't you? There, Luke. He's got a tampon collection in his closet. Like, oh, this was a girl from 2006.
Well, like,
She was a
is it
sweet girl.
bad? Is it bad, like, if you are like doing a chick and she doesn't like let you know that, hey, I'm on my period? Like, because then like you take her home and you come back and there's this massive fucking blood stain on your bed. You're like,
You didn't notice, like, oh, this is so wet, and then you look down, you're like, oh man, I'm so massive, I tore her open. That's what I always told myself when that happened.
it might have been when she was sleeping or something, but you gotta like know and prepare
How
for
do you
that.
think women sleep?
I feel like that should count as rape, honestly. Like if fucking someone touches you with their dirty blood without telling you, I'm going to the fucking cops, honestly. I don't know what you guys are doing, but no. No.
Like if it was a streetwalker person, then like yeah, like I'm gonna have an issue. But if it's like a semi-attractive person, what's up, baby? Like yeah, you get some of that red sauce.
Well, you could probably like steal some of their blood, and then eventually you'll have enough to fill up the doll you made of them.
Oh, that's true because I've been having a lot of issues, and I don't want to mix bloods when I'm filling into like my sex doll. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you sit on this chair that has a funnel and a bucket under it? No reason.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you should like plot out like a schedule, like you figure out the pattern, and then every time that happens, for some reason, you got to make up an excuse to why she needs to sit on this chair with the funnel and the bucket under it. Got to get creative,
It's got like a slow drip.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys have any more feedback?
Oh god.
We got so off topic.
Okay, this is the part where we do the real jokes, or if you want to yell the N word at the top of your lungs, you do that too. Dan Atello, you're up first.
First of all,
You're ready.
I think you should be put down for making that joke right there.
I'm gonna do it to all of you.
You're better.
This is just the
I'm
beginning.
Leonardo. We'll just
Yeah.
get that out of the way.
All
Let me
right.
know when you're ready. Again.
What about 4130? 4130. Here we go. Here we go. So Chadwick Boseman died recently, which, like everybody else, like it was like, holy crap, like Chadwick Boseman died. And I was just as shocked as everybody else to find out he was 43 years old. Like I definitely thought that guy was like 29. Like, and he had colon cancer for 4 years. I just have to say, like when it came out, they said Chadwick Boseman, and I seen 43. I thought for sure they were talking about his dad that just had him at a young age or something like that. And I just have to say, the guy was 43 with late stage colon cancer and looked better than I have ever looked in my life, even when I was in top physical shape in high school. Like I know black doesn't crack, but like apparently that shit doesn't even crease. I got a white kid and a fucking Chinese guy in the room. This isn't gonna work. Next joke. I don't think the NFL gets enough credit for keeping people like Ray Lewis off the streets. That guy could not be free to roam with that much pent-up aggression just on his own. Like, I feel like if Ray Lewis didn't have the NFL to like knock years off other people's lives, like he would just be stalking the World's Strongest Man competition and like sport raping the winner. He would just, what that guy just do? He just deadlifted like 2,000 pounds. He's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck that guy later, and then all of a sudden, it's just like a massive battle. All right, that one still needs some work too. So I'm a big gangster rap fan, and I'm also like a big stand-up comedy fan. And I listened to gangster rap since I was a kid, all the way up till now. It's my favorite genre of music and era. But I've always been curious if comedy in the 90s would have went through the same transition that rap did, and the gangster comedy era would have ran supreme and changed like things as we know it. Like, could you imagine being able to just like instead of getting heckled, like they start shooting at the stage? Nope, can't imagine that. All right. I don't know. I think it'd be crazy. Like Joe Rogan goes like full Suge Knight and like dangles Carlos Mencia over a balcony. Kevin Hart gets shot 22 times after a Mayweather fight on the Strip. Eddie Murphy was riding passenger seat and somehow only gets hit once. Like, is he in on it? I don't know. Somehow pre-recorded specials keep coming out every couple of years of Kevin. Like, nobody's really convinced if he's even dead anymore. So The Last Dance was great, and I just have to say, like, Michael Jordan is my favorite, like one of my favorite athletes of all time as icons. But after watching The Last Dance, I have to say he's definitely one of my favorite gamblers of all time now as well. The fact that he's still as rich as he is and gambles as often as he does is just a testament to his greatness as well. I did find one thing curious though. They went to a Make-A-Wish Foundation and were looking at medical charts while they were there. And Mike's not a doctor. So like the only conclusion I could really come to was that Mike and the Bulls were definitely betting on which kids were going to die in what order. Like they for sure were sitting there like, I got 3-1 odds says Timmy's ass doesn't make it till fucking next Friday. That fucking lymphoma is gonna get him. I'm telling you. Then all of a sudden they're just like, oh fuck you, Mike. You don't know what you're talking about. Like money's going around. It was a great time. Do you think the life of seeds is weird? Like if they had like personalities and like consciousness? Like, could you imagine like being planted with all your buddies and you're just sitting around like, oh, hey, Jim, what's going on? There's like 6 or 7 of you in a pod hanging out. And they're like, oh, I've been feeling great though. You going to that poker game next Friday? Like, oh yeah. Then like all of a sudden, like some water comes out. Like, oh, what's this shit? Like, oh, let's have some of this drink right here. It's pretty good. And all of a sudden, it's just like the scene out of Alien. And like, there's like, oh, what's the matter with you? Jimmy's like, I don't know, man. I had some of that shit earlier. And then all of a sudden, like a fucking like vine pops out of his chest, and he's just laying there dead. Like, oh my god, Frank! Oh my god! And then like all of a sudden, everybody grows. Can you imagine being the 1 seed left, and you just watched all your buddies just like have their chests explode, and like you never grew, so now you just have to sit there for eternity in the pot with all of your friends and their vine murderers. All right, I think I'll call it there. That seems good. All right.
Okay, yay. You had 5 seconds to spare. Perfect timing. You guys have any feedback?
Just to say, I particularly liked, the Ray Lewis stuff, all the Last Dance and betting shit, and then the seed joke. Like, I've never thought of sentient seeds. That's creative angle.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you could, for the Chadwick Boseman joke, you could have gone there faster. You could have just said, yeah, he's 43 and he looks better than I ever did in high school. I forgot what you exactly said, but I feel like you had a lot of setup and you could have went to the punchline faster. For the seeds part, I like where you were going. You could also go to a route where you talk about like seeds competing for nutrients, and like not everyone makes it, and they started out as friends, but like, fuck you, that's my nutrients, that's my fertilizer, I'm the one growing. Yeah, that's my feedback.
All right.
Well, I think, was the seed joke the only joke that wasn't about black people? I think it was.
Did I do that this time? I've been trying to do all black jokes. I can make them black seeds like Jamal. And
Like, I was thinking like the fucking Chadwick Boseman thing. I think it would be like, it would make it like a little funnier if you like, instead of 43, you like just made up I didn't know he was 938 years old or some shit. I don't know. This is where my mind goes.
Or you could do the opposite. I didn't know he was like 18.
I was also thinking in the like the Ray Lewis thing, like with the strongest man competition, like when you win, they're like, all right, here's your medal. Here's your trophy for the world's strongest man competition. And here's this vacuum sealed titanium chastity belt. Like, what's that for? Oh, you'll find out in a minute. You're just looking to see Ray Lewis like behind a tree.
yeah, like I tried it yesterday on stage because like I just started running that joke like the last couple times, and I did like his pregame Ravens dance when I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna rape that motherfucker," and I did like the Ray Lewis dance on the stage. But it was all like old white farmers, and it didn't land very well.
Maybe if I don't know. Maybe if instead of Ray Lewis, it was Korn.
Like the band Korn's gonna rape you if you
No,
win
no,
World's
just-
Strongest
just-
Man competition.
A giant piece of corn. Like replace Ray Lewis with a giant piece of corn.
Oh,
I don't think the NFL gets enough credit for keeping giant pieces of corn off the street.
Oh my god, giant piece of corn!
It's goddamn
giant piece
cold
of
and
corn
delicious.
Everyone else is taking a knee and fucking giant piece of corn. It's just like they're like, that's a true American right there. But sorry.
And those weren't all black jokes because my first example in the gangster comedy one was Joe Rogan. Bam. What do you think about that? Well, you know.
Carlos Mencia is also white. Fuck. Anyway.
Yep.
Any more feedback, guys? Okay, Luke. I'm not gonna do the Ninja Turtle thing. You ruined it. You're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin, and I will start your time.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my name is Luke. I identify as a beta male, which is probably good because that's how everyone else identifies me as well. My preferred pronouns are he, him, little pussy ass bitch. But I've got these huge muscles, you know, because I go to the gym for an hour every single month. That's dedication. Oh, I got this Adonis-like physique. Yeah, in college, my nickname was Friend Zone. My roommate would come home from a night of partying and he'd be like, "What up, Friend Zone? You get laid last night?" I'm like, "No, actually, I didn't." Because, as you know, I have severe acne and just crippling anxiety and depression. But I did, however, masturbate into a sock while crying into a second sock and lightly choking myself with a third sock. But thanks for asking, man. Oh, Friend Zone, you crack me up, cuz. And I've had people asking me about that joke, like, so was your roommate black? I'm like, no. My roommate, his name is Tanner. I don't think there are many people of color named Tanner. That's a very white person name right there. And Tanner is what some people would call, their words, not mine, but they would call him a wigger. Yeah, he just loved to wear wigs. He would wear a white powdered wig like Thomas Jefferson. And, you know, just like Thomas Jefferson, he loved fucking black chicks. Yeah. Now I'm going to talk about the topic that's on everybody's mind this year, and I'm of course talking about Linkin Park's 20-year anniversary of Hybrid Theory. Can you believe it? Oh my God, what a great album! Holy shit, people! It's September. It's this month. Wow, great album, great band. Anyway. Young children make people smile, but what makes them adorable? Like, I think it's due to their naive innocence because they have never heard of the Holocaust. Like, kids stop being cute the instant that they're aware of the senseless slaughter of 6 million Jews. And the majority of kids under 4 don't even know about the tragic suicide of Linkin Park singer Chester Bennington. They're just not aware. But when I have a kid, that's the first thing I'm going to tell him about. The doctor says, "Oh, it's a boy." Great, we'll call him Steve. "Hey, Steve." "Yeah." You know Linkin Park singer Chester Bennington?" "Yeah." "Well, he tragically took his own life." "Where?" "Yeah, I know, it's sad, right? They were a great band, had some certifiable bangers like Crawling in My Skin. Where?" Oh, what? You don't like Linkin Park? Well, fuck you, Steve. Put him back, doctor. Shove him back inside my wife. Anyway. Thank you. That's a new one. So, anyway, so this is sort of a new song, but it's sort of like a really old song because I recently found this notebook from 6th grade, and I found a song I wrote there. It was about how me and my friends, we all liked this chick named Tina. So this song is called Tina. Jimmy, can you hear me? Timmy, can you hear me? I'm in love with Tina. You ain't gonna have her. She is mine. I am hers. I'll be such a happy pre-teenager. 5th grade Tina really has it going on. Remember, I was in 6th grade when I wrote this song. I'm a 6th grade boy, like 5th grade girls. Don't take it out of context, you pervs. I'm only into mature women now. But when I was in 6th grade, I was into it. I fucked up those lyrics, but I wouldn't want to give you the wrong idea. 5th grade girls, 5th grade girls. I can't get enough of 5th graders. 5th grade girls. Ooh. Timmy and Jimmy, you had better back off. I'm gonna chat with her on Yahoo Messenger. She is mine. I fucked up the lyrics again. But why are you with the 7th grade boy? Alright, that's it.
Yay, sweet.
Yeah.
You guys have any feedback?
Yeah, you should probably remember all the lyrics next time you sing a
Yeah,
song.
definitely. I wrote it this week and I thought I had it down, but apparently not. Just like, fuck. I probably should have pulled them up, actually. Oh well.
For the Linkin Park baby joke, I was expecting the baby to start doing screamo, so you could put that in. And for the song, you could put in more like early 2000s references, like the Yahoo Messenger,
Yeah, that's the only one I really had. But,
AIM, and like dial-up internet, MySpace maybe.
yeah, that's a good idea.
The MySpace was until like 05, 06,
Yeah, I think
maybe 04.
might have been 03 when it launched.
Friendster.
But it got more popular in like 4 or
Yeah.
5.
Because I was like a freshman in
Maybe.
high school when it was at its peak, and I graduated in 09, so it's like 05-ish.
09, I was in like 7th grade. Terrible times.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 09 I was working.
Or 6th.
Graduated college in 08, so
Wait, what the fuck?
How old
Yeah.
are you, Luke?
Are you
I'm gonna be 35. But yeah, I do have like some jokes sort of about that. Like I'm 35, but I have a fake ID that says I'm 20 because drinking underage is a lot more fun. Just stuff like that.
I think the baby joke was like perfect.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Oh,
The
thanks,
only
man.
thing I thought of was like they only said like the Holocaust and Chester Bennington. I think like maybe it'd been like kind of like a little, I don't, like if you had just like included the Holocaust but like glossed over it and acted like Chester Bennington was a way bigger tragedy. It's like, yeah, also has 6 million Jews. Like Chester Bennington.
Okay, so just tack that on. Like kids stop being cute that they're okay.
No, I was just thinking like if you're like in the middle of like talking about Chester Bennington, you're like, yeah, also 6 million Jewish people over it.
Yeah, like minimize the Holocaust in comparison to Chester Bennington.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one is obviously the greater tragedy.
Exactly.
Or you could
I think we all know what I'm talking about. The Holocaust, right? That's way more people. I don't know.
But none of them were just
None quite as talented as Chester Bennington there.
Yeah.
6 million, like he's like right at the top of the talent pool there.
Oh yeah, when you're saying friend zone, I was thinking of like Newman Zone, like ranch and shit. Like a brand that was the friend zone. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what
Friend
else.
zone.
Oh,
you
that
guys
could
have
be
any-
something like you could
I
make
don't-
like a friend zone brand of clothing.
Nobody likes my ranch dressing.
There's that, or the shirt you're wearing looks like something that would be like friend zone, like like Nike, Under Armour, friend zone.
Maximum comfort. 'Cause nobody's ever gonna see them.
They're hard to
it was
take
like-
off because you're never going to need to.
Yeah.
What if it was like a fucking Twilight Zone? Like how he walks up and like there's the opening monologue.
You've been helping her on her math homework for 3 months. Then all of a sudden, RJ gets a motorcycle and you're in, and you're just like, the friend zone.
That's pretty great.
Any more feedback?
For
Cool,
the,
cool.
I'll go. I mean,
No,
for
no, it's,
the Park bit, we could talk about like a disappointing Linkin Park album as a second tragedy and compare that. I'm talking about the one that where they collaborated with Jay-Z. I'm like, what is this?
Shut your goddamn mouth.
There are no bad Linkin Park albums except for the last one, One More Light. Okay.
I think the last bad hit they did was when he knocked that chair out from under him.
Okay.
Is this on? Is this still on? Oops.
I don't know. Do you? Who's the guy? Will Wheaton.
Okay.
Have you heard you've ever looked like him, Daniel? Or
In the last like 2 days, like 2 podcasts I've been on, this guy's been brought up, which means I'm going straight to the gym when they reopen, by the way. And
well, I don't know if he still has like a beard and hair like you do, but he might.
you know what? I just yep, that's it. That's what I needed, some motivation to.
You're gonna Wesley crush it in the gym.
Oh, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna be a jacked comedian that's funny. Like not like Brendan Schaub. Like I'm gonna actually do comedy.
You're gonna go full
Oh,
carrot top.
oh, shots fired.
Unless he hears this, then he's hilarious. Because as small of a chance as that is, I do not want that mammoth of a man ever wanting to physically harm me.
I have a fucking picture with him, but like I never posted it because I look really, really stupid in it. But
Did you type "world's greatest comedian" next to the picture or something like that?
dude, I'm a large fan of Brendan Schaub and also Hamburger Jones.
I like a lot of his podcasts, but
You guys know about Hamburger Jones? That's like, there's like, like Dave Chappelle and like fucking Norm Macdonald and them, but like above them all, like a little bit above them, Carlin, like I don't know, Hamburger Jones, Alonzo Hamburger Jones, the greatest of all time. Dan, oh yeah, before I forget, I always thought like if you got decapitated and you had like twins or clones or some shit, your head looks really stackable. Like if you wanted to stack a bunch of heads on top of each other, like yours would be like perfect for it.
He has a Lego head, I guess.
yeah, I mean,
Fuck, I should have saved that for the roast. God damn.
yeah, cool, man. Get it out now because I'm gonna fucking cook you this weekend. So,
Oh, okay, all right. I think God already did. But anyway, any more feedback?
oh man, you do have that perfect golden brown exterior too. He's just like, pulled it out at the right time. If only I could have gave him decent facial hair. Is Mike still
All right.
on?
All right, this is gonna be Saturday is gonna be really interesting. Kenneth, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin, and I will start your time.
Okay, we could start now. So I used to work with middle schoolers, and one middle schooler told me that I made her want to die after I told her to clean up after herself. So I told her to go die then. Kenneth, what if I actually killed myself? Then I don't have to deal with you. And when you kill yourself, make sure that you don't leave a mess. Middle schoolers are so insecure. If I actually said that to them, none of them would be alive. Middle schoolers are so easy to peer pressure to. If I really wanted to, I could tell them that the new TikTok challenge is jumping off bridges. But who will record us, Kenneth? I will. I'll even edit the video. Then they'd find the nearest bridge to the school. But before they jump, though, I'd ask, is everyone sure that they want to do this? And Michael and Michaela, who's the power couple of the group, would say, yes, Kenneth, shut up and record already. I didn't hear a yes from everyone. There'd be another long pause. Then Jeremiah, the rational one, would say, actually, I don't want to do this. My mom would be mad. Jeremiah, you're so uncool. Michael, let Jeremiah speak. Is there anyone like Jeremiah who does not feel comfortable jumping off the bridge? Another long pause. Then Aaliyah, who has a crush on Jeremiah, would say, no, I don't want to do this. Then Jasmine, who's Aaliyah's best friend, would say no. Then eventually everyone in the group would say no. For those of you who don't want to jump off the bridge, we could go back inside the classroom. Michael and Michaela, I'll be going back inside too. You could join us if you want. I would go back inside the building with everyone else. Jeremiah would then ask me, Kenneth, what if they actually kill themselves? Then I'll be fired. But then 30 seconds later, Michael and Michaela would step inside the classroom. They'd call everyone a pussy, grab their backpacks and leave the room. There'd be a long silence. And at that moment, I would ask everyone if they want a homework break to play a short game of Hangman. One by one, everyone would say yes. Kings and queens are hard to overthrow. But if you're intelligent enough, you can turn the masses against them and have the masses give you the throne. That's it.
Sweet. Awesome. Do you guys have any feedback?
When you said like, oh, when you kill yourself, don't leave a mess. And then I think you should really go into examples of like ways to kill yourself without making a big mess. Or like you could talk like, I'm a clean freak. I can't have anyone clean up for me. So whatever you can think of there.
Yeah, like you got like before they jump off the bridge, you have them like get into bags.
Like tea bags.
Like big like trash bags or something. I don't know.
Or you gotta like you wait for a barge to go under the bridge. So they would land on the trash barge and go straight to the dump.
Oh wait, if the bridge is over water, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and I think somewhere in there you need to say like, I swear to God, I don't want to kill my students. Dude, I don't.
But I'm
Believe
desperately
me.
praying for a school shooter.
What if
But
you,
I
mean,
want somebody else to kill them.
Yeah, like what if you were actively like the kid who was most likely to be a school shooter, like you were actively trying to drive them over the edge? Like,
You like put him in the
don't
corner
you
by
hate-
like-
himself, like no matter what.
Nobody likes you, Blake.
You know, yeah, you just like tell them, like, hey, listen, Jocelyn's been saying mad shit about
Yeah.
you, Blake. Like all the students you don't like, you're like feeding them names.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like,
Who's
"Why
your
are you
crush?
bullying him?
Oh yeah.
Why are you wearing a bulletproof vest?"
He's got full riot gear in his classroom. Like, all right, we're going into lockdown. Please make sure all your doors are closed. And he puts like a piece of duct tape over the so, all right.
It's like between classes, like all the kids are about to come in, and he fucking locks the door.
It's going down.
But yeah, when you were talking about how like the thing that went from like them being about to jump off the bridge to them being like against it, I was thinking, I thought you were gonna be like, and then they were like, no, so I had to push them.
Yeah, there needs to be like an element of something unexpected in there that happens.
But I liked the way it went, like
Yeah.
trying to get them to jump off the bridge. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was commenting on like how prevalent peer pressure is. Like if someone says they want to jump off a bridge, like everyone will follow.
Like, there's a way to do the exact story you just did. Like, I can like almost like hear it when you were saying it. It's kind of like if you emphasize certain points more, where it's just like you go on like a 10-second story bit, and then when that ends, the next word's just like, so it's just like, and then we lined up on the bridge, and then Jessica, and like, so then it's just like it's kind of like the crowd know, like you're aware this is a long ass story. And it's just like every time you emphasize certain parts of it, like gets the crowd realize, like, oh, okay, he's aware this is a long ass story too. Then it just kind of becomes a joke in itself that this story is still going on.
Yeah, it'd be like a Stephen King book, but self-aware.
Right.
And then at the end, he could be like, "Wiggity woo."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wiggity boo.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that would also be hilarious. Like have a bunch of like short ones, just do wiggity woo after everyone, and then tell a long ass rambling story. Sorry, I didn't even, like push the catchphrase there. I just think it'd be hilarious. Yeah, thanks, Luke. That was great.
No problem.
Wiggity woo.
Any more feedback, you guys? Okay, well, I guess it's my turn. Let me look in my Google document. Okay, here we go. Let me see. I started a new job one time, and I was trying to describe someone, but I didn't know anybody yet. And they were like, "What does he look like?" And I was like, "He looks kind of like a skeleton, but with meat on it." And they were like, "You just described every human on the planet." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess that is what a human is." I don't ever want to be like famous or like in history books, because think like if anyone's ever gonna go back in time to fuck with somebody, it's got to be somebody they know existed. And most people don't have to worry about that. But if you're like famous, you're gonna have to deal with a bunch of time travel shenanigans. Like people are gonna be coming back and fucking just trying to stop you from being born if you're gonna be the next Hitler. And you know that's how you know. Never mind. Maybe someone actually like Hitler was gonna be way worse, but someone fucked it up and made this Hitler, and they were like, good enough, because it was almost the whole world, but we brought it down a little bit. I recently actually found out that someone I know is a Holocaust denier, which is weird. Because out of all the conspiracy theories, that's got to be the least fun one. You know, they're those ones that are like 9/11 was orchestrated by dimension hopping tarantulas wearing capes. Because if you can picture a tarantula in a cape, that's probably the most sinister image your mind can conjure without you going insane. You know, it's got to be one of those capes with the collars on it, though, like vampires wear. Because those collars are for soaking up blood. And you flip that thing up, you got yourself a blood funnel. Ugh. Yeah, but apparently after World War II, a lot of Holocaust deniers started popping up, and that got me wondering if after World War III, there are going to be a lot of nuclear Holocaust deniers. I'm picturing a guy with 3 heads, and one of his heads is like, did that shit really happen? I don't know. The second head is like, I think non-mutants just made it up so they could steal all our flaming piles of radioactive skulls. And the third head is like, I used to think that Nicolas Cage was just where they put you when you don't have any nickels. Yeah. I think I get pulled over a lot, and every time I get pulled over, the cops always want to search my car. I think it's because I kind of act like the guy in Scooby-Doo that they want you to think did it. But you know when someone's being really nosy and you're about to fuck them over, but they keep going, so you're like, all right, whatever happens, happens. Because they always look in your car like they're going to find some big-ass stash of drugs. Then they pop your trunk and find a Foot Locker full of baby heads. I was thinking about starting a company that's like Uber, but for boobs. I was going to call it Boober. There's going to be like a driver, and a lady is going to be about to get in the car. And he's like, ma'am, no, just the boobs. Yeah. Driving, I'm in Michigan, and driving in Michigan is weird because for some reason here, like the further north you go, the more moose related the name of every restaurant and venue gets. And I always thought moose are more of a Canadian thing, you know, like everybody wants to be Canadian until it's time to throw down. Then it's USA all the way. But I feel like if you have the name of an animal and the name of your restaurant, you should serve the meat of that animal. Like if I want a moose burger or a moose steak, they should have it. Because my grandfather always used to tell me moose meat is delicious. They should serve moose meat. Or there should be a moose in the back that you can fuck. Because otherwise, that's just false advertising. You know, like you go up to the bar, you're like, "Hey, I'm looking for some moose head." They're like, "Oh, right this way." They got a moose chained up in the back. You can use the antlers like handlebars to control the motions. Fun fact, if you ever want to fuck an animal, chickens are nature's fleshlight. Oh, I'm done. Thanks, guys. Yay. Any feedback?
I think there's a part where, like you're talking about, like the moose area, where like a moose lodge is somewhere where I should be able to just sleep with mooses, like work that in there somewhere. I don't know, like a moose brothel would be a moose lodge technically.
Moose brothel.
There might be something.
That's really fun to say.
I bet they got those thick, meaty, big, sticky tongues, and you're just really into that.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, nice rack, moose.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, how do you dirty talk a moose? Like,
I should trample this dick.
The moose is like in the corner shaking. What did you do to this moose?
It's in a giant shower, just like curled up on the ground.
It's got the fucking shower cap. Like
God.
Aww. What the fuck sound a moose makes?
Yeah, I think you should have like more examples of like how the time travelers are gonna fuck with you, and just like weird ways just for their own amusement. Like they would just come and touch you as a child, but you would never know. Maybe they already have. I don't know.
Or what if time travelers came back to fix things we didn't realize were an issue?
Hmm.
Like they came back to make sure Germany won the war instead of stopping Hitler. They
Yeah.
increased his power because it turned out somehow he was right the whole time. And it's like they trace it all back. Like, oh, if only Hitler would have won the war, it would have been a better place in 2332. Or something like that.
They stopped the Hitler sequels. There was going to be a Hitler 2 and a Hitler 3, but they got rid of them.
Like, listen, the Jews were not that great of people, it turned out. We found out much later than we he was actually ahead of the curve.
That would be hilarious. Like if you went back in time to stop it, but then you're like, "Oh, these people are fucking assholes. What the fuck?" Like, they push you down and like spit in your nostrils. Like, I'm trying to help you guys. What the?
Fuck these people. they they push over Anne Frank. Like, get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Okay, that's a great direction for that to
So you
take.
can- you could do something where you try to save them, but you end up becoming like something in the Holocaust museum because you died in it. Like
Yeah,
is
you
that-
didn't make it.
Well, I think that would be a very sad ending. I'd like, let me see.
And
Is
it
it
was
much-
better than the Holocaust in general.
Yeah.
I want to have some kind of semblance of tact.
I know.
When, yeah, like not trying to. No, I'm joking. Like in yeah, like like in The Shining when he's in the picture at the end.
Yeah.
It's just
There's a lot of places, like, ways to run.
yeah, the reason I started writing that joke actually was because of that. They had that little contest thing, and the premise, I mean, the topic was time travel, but I forgot to enter it. So I was just thinking about time travel jokes. Fucking.
I think the joke is in there. You would travel back in time to submit the time travel joke.
Yeah, I fucking paid for it and shit.
Like, oh, I got a joke from.
Yeah, like time travel was just invented by somebody that was really bad at like maintaining a schedule. Like that was his. It wasn't like to save humanity. That was his sole purpose. Was because he kept missing meetings. So he's like, I gotta invent this goddamn time machine.
That man was Bill Gates
Oh boy.
or Jeff Bezos. What if that was the secret to like all the billionaires? They like independently discovered time travel by either stumbling upon it or.
Shit.
I feel
Yeah, like-
that's already been done.
I don't. Well, I'm not sleeping tonight now, so thanks for that.
Because you would have to keep that shit secret. Like, I mean,
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, like Elon Musk totally could be from the future. He's like, fuck these goddamn rednecks and these stupid liberals. They're all dumb. I just want to build cool cars and go to space more. Like in the future. I mean, like we will in the future.
in the future. It's so weird how it's always now. It's kind of gross. Anyway, any more feedback, you guys?
For the moose, like fucking moose bit, it could talk about getting a taxidermy moose as a sex doll.
When you can't go to the Moose Lodge, you gotta have a doll.
Oh yeah, like that'd be crazy because there's like the Japanese sex robots, but are they gonna like go into the market of like like robotic bestiality?
Or like you eat the moose first, then empty out its body to make a sex doll out of it. So you talk about eating moose too.
I feel like you would just want to get in it like a tauntaun.
Have you guys ever seen the Brothers Grimsby?
No.
I've seen like 10.
It's-
Maybe I've seen it.
It's a Sacha Baron Cohen movie.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where they're like hiding from people trying to kill them, and there's like a herd of elephants.
Oh, they hide in
So they
the
run and
elephant.
jump and hide in the elephant vagina. And then all of a sudden there's like an elephant orgy and they're stuck in the vagina just getting beaten up by giant elephant dicks. It's like a 5-minute scene.
Oh god.
And the other guy in the scene's like a serious actor too. Like the fact that Sacha Baron Cohen got him to do it is hilarious.
Now I gotta watch that movie. It was one of those movies that looked like it was gonna be terrible, so I just deleted it from my memory. When I saw
It was terribly great. Like I don't know if I'll ever watch it again, but I definitely had moments in that movie I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, that elephant part is
Yeah, it's one of
great,
the
but
funniest things I've ever seen.
I don't really recall liking most of it, but
Nah.
Yeah, if I can't just watch the elephant scene, that'd be weird. I don't want that in my internet history. You know. Yeah. Any more feedback, you guys?
I think I hit everything.
yeah, thanks for hosting tonight, Bilal.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks for sticking around for the entirety of it. Thus concludes another episode of the workshop. Oh yeah, this is the part where if you have anything you want to plug, like any podcast, any social media or anything, now is when you do it. Fuck, I fucked that sentence structure up. Anyway, Dan, you're up first.
Oh yeah, you can catch me on another podcast about everything. Got one episode up right now. It's a brand new podcast. Twitter, Daniel_Grinnell, and then Instagram, Daniel Grinnell Comedy or something like that.
Okay, Luke.
Yeah, I'm one half of the Dead Panda podcast. We talk to a lot of different comedians. You can find it on Spotify, YouTube, other streaming platforms that don't matter. And my Instagram and all that stuff is at Westberg Comedy. And if you're in the Sonora, California area this week, which you aren't, there's a show there by Gold Rush Comedy.
Alrighty. Kenneth, do you have anything?
Yeah, I got a TikTok. Dizon_mustard. Yeah, I'm so cool.
Dizon Mustard.
Sweet.
Love the puns.
Yeah. All right. That's oh yeah. Anybody watching? If you're in Michigan, this weekend there's a. Actually, no. Fuck this. Nobody's watching in Michigan.
Hey, if you're in Michigan, catch me and Bilal at a roast at Harry's in downtown Detroit, sending off one of our comedy buddies across the country. So it's a good time. Show starts
Saturday night. This Saturday night, be there or be square. Turtle Power.
Turtle Power.